Hello and welcome. This is Reverend Dr. Anthusa Helena, owner, founder, and developer of SOLLITE, SOLLITE.com. I am both nationally certified and state licensed as a mental health counselor and massage therapist. I have a doctorate in divinity, specializing in spiritual counseling and energy psychology. Today, our topic is Introductory Overview of Integrative Medicine Practitioner Training. I welcome again all the newcomers. Thank you for your interest. SOLLITE is for healing and conscious awakening. Healing ourselves affects humanity of major historical reoccurrences such as war, hunger, sickness, and disasters. Overall, healing results in conscious awakening, both individually and in collective consciousness as a whole. SOLLITE's mission and purpose is to heal the illusion of separation and to know truth. SOLLITE, S-O-L, light, stands for Systems of Light Leading into Truth Emerging. SOLLITE's belief statement is the illusion of separation is the core underlying illness of humanity. A real tragedy for us both, individually and globally. The ultimate cure being to remember the truth of who you really are and be a true expression of your essential divine self. Remembering that you are spiritual beings having a human experience. Integrative medicine is a holistic model approach addressing all levels of your being, your physical, mental, emotional, energetic, and spiritual parts of your whole entire makeup. It bridges the gap between medicine and spirituality by utilizing therapeutic applications of consciousness to achieve ultimate wellness. This integrative medicine practitioner training is a 6-month program of self-discovery, healing, and awakening. It is broken up to meet once a week online for 90 minutes. You also have a private Facebook group where I check in daily, give added materials and assignments, and answer questions. The 6 months in sequential order, covering these topics 1 whole month at a time. They build upon each other. First, color and light therapy, which is the foundational portion to explain what we are doing in this 6-month integrative medicine training program. It is our essential parts. I will explain in detail each program as we move on. The second month is awareness in the brain. We have a portion of our brain as a mechanism that keeps us in the illusion of separation. It's the way we are built. It is built to actually help us survive and as a defense mechanism to protect ourselves and keep us safe. Third month, cranial sacral therapy, which actually is the physical portion of this 6-month training. Moving on, fourth month, medical qigong, the energetic portion of the training. Next month is heart and soul healing. Now we're starting to get into the essence of our spirituality and divinity. The soul actually is accessed through the heart. So in this program of month of training, we learn the aspects of our heart and enter into higher realms of our soul. Our soul holds our ancestry, our DNA, our culture, our environment, and everything that surrounds us that is not actually segmented. It's the whole part of our being that affects everything on a physical, energetic, and spiritual level. The final month of this 6-month training program is spiritual medicine. This is where we get into higher realms of understanding and learn how to use sound and light codes to help us awaken and raise our frequency and vibration to be higher and higher. Some of us look at this aspect as the ascension process, but it is much more than that because we need to also embody our essence, our essential self, in what is known as ascension, the opposite of spiraling up further into the other multidimensional universes. Moving on, now I will explain bullet points of what you will learn each week in this month-long program in each one of these topics. Again, the first month, color and light therapy. Remembering these bullet points are what we will cover each individual week, starting in sequential order. Human signature, what we are made up of. Before we became physical in our gross matter, we actually were color and light energy. Our photons, next, the light photons is the way we communicate. It's the network of how our cells communicate to one another. Next, specific types of color and light called spectrochrome. This was put together by Dinshaw Gadali. It was his life work of 400 different disorders and how to treat them with particular combinations of light and when is the best time to treat. Next, color puncture. Color puncture was Dr. Peter Mandel's work, which is actually color implemented through in conjunction with acupuncture points. He has stated that when we use color and light In conjunction with acupuncture, it lights up the whole body like fiber optics, so it affects your whole being. And finally, spectral receptivity system is an optometric medical device put together with the Dinshaw Gadali gels, and that was my certified teacher and trainer that I first started color and light therapy with, Dr. Jacob Lieberman. He has written the book Light Medicine of the Future and many others. Moving on to the second month. Awareness in the brain. Remembering, I told you that there is a place in the brain, an actual mechanism that keeps us in separation and in what we know as fight, flight, or freeze in our autonomic nervous system that keeps us safe. We cover the 8 brain states. Next, we look more into the anatomical structural complex built in this mechanism, which creates separation. The following week, we look at duality, the inner war, known as the mujahada in Sufism. We are made up in duality, and all of us have inner conflicts, and this is the struggle of the human species. Moving on, rewiring the brain, happiness projects, and positive psychology. The last week, this is the STOP method, which I've developed myself. We cover the sound, introducing sound therapy for the first time with il, ah, hu. Il stimulates the portion in our brain where the mechanism I'm speaking of resides. Ah is the sound that opens the heart and the gates for entering into the soul level. And hu is the sound of the God essence or the divine one essential self. Moving on to the next couple months. Excuse me. Somehow I missed a slide. There we go. Thank you for being patient with me. We are now moving in, remembering this is building sequentially, 1 month at a time, to get to the ultimate how-to. You learn, you experience, and then you put the whole integrative medicine, holistic approach into usage with yourself, your friends, your colleagues, or your clients. The physical level, cranial sacral therapy. Many of you know what cranial sacral therapy is and how important it is to our bodies and all parts of ourselves, especially those massage therapists that might be viewing and also are trained in this work. I actually worked for Dr. Upledger for 11 years at his head trauma and spinal cord injury rehabilitation center. I was trained by Dr. Upledger before he even opened up the center when he was teaching through Unity churches. So he was my main teacher. Now so many others have been educated to train and teach, as well as myself. I also then became the first group of staff members when he first opened up the Upledger Institute, very long time ago. So I have been doing this work for very many years, decades. So first week, inner physician. The theory, basic theory of craniosacral therapy is that the body has inner wisdom to heal itself. Upledger quoted that as the inner physician. We then learn more about what the craniosacral system is and how it functions. Following the cranial bones and their sutures in our head, of course, for those of you that are not sure of what cranium is. Not to say that you're not well educated. Following that is cerebral spinal fluid, the importance of being able to feel that, look at it, and allow that to be something that we really look at in the innermost parts of our being, inside the spine, that helps us heal. And last week is the V spread. We are now starting to look more into the energetic realm and how to use energy to heal. Following month, now we are totally into the energetic portions of our being. Medical Qigong. Medical Qigong is a portion or a branch of traditional Chinese medicine. For those of you that are acupuncturists or know about traditional Chinese medicine, there are 4 branches that are used. Acupuncture, we mostly all know about. Body work, their form from the more Oriental way as opposed to Western culture. Chinese herbs, and then lastly, medical Qigong works on the energetic body and the internal organs of our being, our viscera. The next week we go into yin yang, or the meridians of the body, and study those. The following week, acquired versus congenital emotions. In medical Qigong, it is known that, or studied, that each individual organ holds specific emotions. Acquired are the ones that we get as we grow and get conditioned through patterns and habits, authority figures, parental figures, the culture, the environment. There are the things that we want to clear and go back to congenital, which means the very true essence, the pure essence of the emotions that we started with when we came into this world and were born. So that is what we enhance, revitalize, and regenerate. Nextly, medical Qigong uses color, light, and sound healing to heal, to regenerate, to come back into the perfect form of congenital, or who we truly are in the beginning. Revitalize our being. So you see how now we're starting to integrate things that we learned from the very beginning month of the program in color and light. And finally, microcosmic orbit. This incorporates the use of light and energy to break up any what we call turbid energy, or things that we really aren't the highest and best for us to be carrying within ourselves. And now this incorporates more into craniosacral therapy, because that deals with the spine and the head as well. Okay, and now the following and final 2 months. Thank you for your patience in finding the slides. Now we moved from the physical and energetic of those prior 2 months into introducing more of the spiritual aspects. Heart and soul healing. Again, the heart holds all the knowing and is the emperor and the empress of what is leading the show, so to speak, in our bodies, mind, emotions, energy realms, and spiritual as well. So we learn clearing techniques that are basic and be used on a daily basis in any ways that we desire to use them to help us respond instead of reacting when we're dealing with stress or just life in general. We learn the living light breath. Stress resilience, again, to become less reactive and more responsive in a proper way in our lives. Ascension, I mentioned before, the embodiment of our essential divine selves. And soul retrieval, reconnecting with our divine through the essence of our soul. As we live life and we go through the experiences of life, possibly some things may have been traumatic, where we end up getting fragmented. So pieces of our soul are not connected fully with our being. So this is what soul retrieval is. We go back and we find these fragmented parts of ourselves due to just life itself, and we retrieve them to become whole and reconnected with the divine, our true selves. And finally, the last month of training in this 6-month program, spiritual medicine. Life mastery. There actually is an interview with my teacher on YouTube that I've done previously, and an individual YouTube video I've done also on life mastery itself. This is a channeled information from the angelic realms. Next, we activate and manifest our divine soul's plan. Life mastery actually helps trigger this process, and we go into it and discuss it more and get more techniques in the second week. Third week, multi-dimensional worlds of reality. This is where we start to learn more about the multi-universes and how we access those worlds and get the guidance and information that assist us as we're here on this earthly plane. Following week, we learn a sacred language and divine qualities. This incorporates the sound and light frequencies that I spoke about earlier. So, what do you get from all this? Let me find the final slide here. Almost done. Thank you for your patience and your attention. What you expect to receive from this 6-month training program. Energy perception skills. You raise your frequency and vibration. evolution through the truth of who you are, methods for stress resilience, deeper understanding of the human psyche, both individually for yourself and remember collectively for the mass consciousness of humanity. We segment these and learn the difference between what awareness and consciousness is. It is a journey of self-discovery to awaken as you go through this 6-month training. You learn remote distance healing. Everything that I've just explained to you throughout this video of all the topics for the 6 months, you can do every technique remotely, and you don't have to have the person in front of you in person in actual physical body. This is what the difference is for massage therapists possibly, and also psychotherapists as well, where normally you're actually doing these techniques in person, touching the physical body, or in person speaking to the individual about their mental and emotional health. So you're incorporating all these techniques and modalities with the energy psychology and the energy mastery to learn how to do all this remotely and in distance healing. We address the real cause of disease. In conventional medicine, we're mostly looking at the symptoms of the illness. When you go into spiritual medicine and higher realms, it is important to find the core cause of the illness. Because if you don't get to the core cause, sometimes and often the illness comes back again. You have learned this through possibly friends or yourself personally that might have gone through cancer, and they go into remission and they're doing fine, and then all of a sudden, possibly, hopefully not, it comes back again, either in the same place or a different portion of the body. So we really learn to get to the core of what is causing the disease, disharmony, or illness of the person. That's what integrative medicine does. Looks at all parts of the being, not just the symptoms and segmented parts. We talk about the importance that life is your medicine, and that the challenges that happen in your life are really a gift and an opportunity for you to evolve and grow and be more divinely connected with and through spiritual growth. Next, soul heals the psyche, both individually and collectively. So that ends our program for today. I thank you for your interest. And for those of you that went to SOLLITE and Thusa Helena Facebook, because if you go there and you like my page, you won't miss any future videos or educational trainings that I offer freely. And if you decide, if you haven't already gone to SOLLITE and Thusa Helena, my Facebook page, when you do like it, you can view other past videos and what I call inspirational quotes that I post weekly. There's also a lot of educational information on my YouTube channel that is easily viewed at your convenience. Again, with the same name, SOLLITE and Thusa Helena. So do visit my website for a complimentary gift. It is a one-page free download of a meditation and some simple belief systems, statements, and affirmations that can change your life. So it's short, sweet, and free. While you're there, you can peruse the rest of the website, look at my biography, my experience, and other programs that I offer that are shorter 1 month or 2 month programs called specialty programs. I also offer individual private sessions in conscious counseling, incorporating all these methods that I've spoken to you about today as a spiritual counselor, mental health counselor, and energy psychology. Again, that is www.sollite, SOLLITE.com. I thank you very much for joining me today. And remember to refer me to your friend or colleague or family members or anyone else that you think might be interested in what I have to offer. From my heart to yours, peace, blessings, prosperity, and love always. Thank you. Have a great day.